Earlier, we discussed two club openings, so that brings us to probably my favorite section in a convention card, which would be the week two bids. We're going to talk about two spades, two hearts, and also two diamonds. Of course, not everyone uses two diamonds as a week two bid. If you want to use Flannery or Roman or multi, and it's allowed where you play, then go ahead and have a good time. I'm content to use two diamonds as a week two bid in diamonds. I feel that's quite effective. So we're going to discuss them all at once, two diamonds, two hearts, two spades. And we'll also discuss responding to week two bids. So the biggest question I'm sure you have is suit quality. What do I feel about the quality of the suit? I recommend a six card suit, but so much depends on your general philosophy. Some of you are aggressive, some of you are conservative or sound, others are in the middle. So there's no one right way. Some teachers will tell you you can open with six to the king and out, or even six to the jack. Others will say you need two of the top three. I don't agree with either. I think it's somewhere in between. But more importantly, we need to just consider, are we vulnerable? Are we the dealer? Are we in second seat, third seat? The vulnerability and position are crucial. If you're vulnerable, you're going to have a much better suit as your requirement. If you're not vol, you can be more aggressive. The penalties aren't as bad if you get doubled. And not only does your vulnerability matter, but if you're white against red, not vol against vol, that's the best time to preempt. Even if they get you for a penalty, it could often be less than the value of their vulnerable game. And the opposite is true that if you're vulnerable against not, which we call unfavorable, and it's for a good reason, that's a bad time to preempt. So if you're going to preempt vol against not, you better really have it. Have a good suit. Have a nice preempt. So you don't need two of the top three. I care more actually about the medium ones, the 10, nines, and eights. And I don't like a suit such as ace, queen, 5, 4, 3, 2, although it has two of the top three. I don't like it as much as queen, jack, 10, 9, 8, 6 times, which does not have two of the top three. So I like the spot cards in the middle. Those are more important. But vulnerable, I'm going to have a good suit. And second seat, I'm going to have a good suit because second seat is the worst time to preempt. Your right hand opponent passes. He doesn't have much. So there's a good chance the hand belongs to you and your partner. That's not a time for preempting unless you really have a good suit. You don't want to preempt your own partner. There's a good chance he has values. Whereas if you're the dealer, it could be anyone's hand. If you're in third seat, you know the hand doesn't belong to your side. Your partner has already passed. So pass, pass, that's the best time to preempt. You know your side doesn't have the contract really. So third seat, white on red, third seat favorable, we really go crazy. I might even have six to the jack in third seat favorable, even though I'm kind of an average normal preempter. Third seat favorable, anything goes. As my longtime friend Marty Bergen used to tell me, third seat favorable is not bridge. He considered that a time to really get crazy. Not that he needed more encouragement, he was a little wild all the time. So the suit quality depends on many factors, let's put it that way. The range is typically about 5 to 11, but in fourth seat, a lot of you might not know this, the range is not 5 to 11. If it goes pass, 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 we're not going to preempt with a 5 count. We would pass the hand out. Same thing with a 6, 7, or 8 count. We would pass the hand out. So in fourth seat, two bit is still weak, but we consider the range more like 10, 11, 12, 13. It's like ace, queen, jack, six, then a side card, side king or ace. It's a nice descriptive bid in fourth seat. So let's now that we've talked about the parameters for a week two bid, let's talk about responding to a week two bid, which is a special topic for me because we get to use the law of total tricks. And on this CD, I'm not going to go into detail, I would need a long time, but the law of total tricks says that basically, if your side has 8 trumps, compete to the 2 level, with 9 trumps, compete to the 3 level, and with 10 trumps, compete to the 4 level. We don't use it though if it's a game hand or a slam hand. So if my partner opens a weak 2 bid and I have 20 points, I'm not thinking of law of total tricks and 2, 3, 4 levels. With 20 points, I'm going to game or maybe looking for slam. So we're not using it with game interest. If we do have game interest, we'll either bid game or we'll say 2 no trump to ask partner what kind of preempt they have. And if you want a rule, I'm not big on rules. There's something called the rule of 17, which says take your number of high card points, add your number of trump support, and if it's 17, you can look for game. So for example, if partner opens 2 hearts and you have 15 high card points and 2 card heart support, that adds up to 17. You can say 2 no trump, find out more about partner's hand. But I'm not big on memorizing the rules. So let's say you are interested in game and you either bid game or you say 2 no trump. If you do say 2 no trump, you have to know if you're using feature or August. I don't really have strong feelings other than feature is much simpler and easier. And the way feature works is after the 2 no trump, your partner with a minimum, with the low end of his range, will repeat his suit. So for example, if he opens 2 hearts and you say 2 no trump, he'll say 3 hearts if he's got a minimum. I don't care what he's got on the side. I don't care if he's got an ace on the side. If he's got a minimum, he's going to repeat his suit. If he doesn't have a minimum, then he can show you a so-called feature by bidding the suit in which he has some cards, like an ace or a king. Occasionally it can be a queen. He can also say 3 no trump, 2 hearts, 2 no, 3 no, to say he's got a non-minimum and a very good suit, like ace king queen sixth or ace king jack sixth, but no feature, of course. So that's feature. And that sums up game interest or just bidding game. And that brings us back to the law of total tricks because if you don't have interest in game, you'll know what to do. You'll pass with 2 trump. With 3 trump, you'll raise to the 3 level. And with 4 trump, you'll raise to the 4 level. So if partner opens 2 hearts and you have no game interest, but 3 card support, make sure you raise the level of the preempt to 3. Make it tough on them. Raise partners 2 to 3 with 3 trump. And with 4 trump, raise them to the 4 level. Make it tough on them. You'll have 10 trump, and if you make it, good. And if you go down, it's their hand. So using the law of total tricks when partner preempts is definitely worth learning. And if your right-hand opponent interferes, 2 hearts double or 2 hearts on the overcall, same thing. If you're not interested in game, follow the law. If you're vulnerable and you're 4 triple 3, you don't have to go crazy. But in general, you're going to use the law of total tricks when partner preempts.